Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright Justice for All, as Edgeworth is yet again destroying all of my hard work and just trying to keep this case alive so Gumshoe can get the time to do what he needs to do. What is that? Says the judge, as Edgeworth puts up the camera that we found in Juan Corrida's room, and now we worry where he's going with this. It's a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What the? I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Maton Guard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And the victim, Juan Corrida, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Maton Guard. Order! Order! Mr. Wright! Yes, Your Honor? You don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities? Well, sort of? Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in the stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not that same one. Last night I searched the victim's house on a hunch, using this Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. And Maton Guard's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to that evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. On Guard learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I didn't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's that lawyer thinking? Mummy, is that man the bad killer guy? Shush, stop, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so, ew, nasty. Phoenix. Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What I'm going to do next? Just running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. What is it, Mia? There's a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate? I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? What is this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is? It still needs to be looked at? Or should I let it go? We obviously have to present something. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright.
Objection!
Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily. You are beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your point, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? So you're telling me that I forgot something? You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. Right. Something that he had the chance to examine but didn't. Something that he hasn't had access to. Technically then, the only thing is the thing we just got. Because that puzzle was only just opened. Fingerprint test it or something. Because that's the only thing he hasn't had access to, isn't it? Because he has seen these. He's seen everything else, because that's just stuff that's been out and about. And I mean, a lot of this he gave to us.
Take that!
go for it. That is Miss Impart's suicide note, right? Who knows? I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear. But this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on this suicide note has yet to be analysed. Oh! So, as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impart or not, that has yet to be even remotely confirmed. Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting...
Mr. Wright, are you saying this suicide note is a fake?
Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. On Guard. Who's to say you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it into this bear?
How dare you!
Objection!
Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There's no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever.
Objection!
But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness's testimony concerning this figurine. The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness itself. Ah! And another pair of glasses. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt on guard.
I did no such thing.
Objection!
Right. If you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. I don't know any evidence.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. Ha! That's enough! Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on this suicide note? It is as the defense has stated, the handwriting is yet to be analysed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Mayor will physically be able to make it another day. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I request that both the prosecution and defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis, my butt, that's just a lawyer trying to buy more time. On Guard is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty! 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 What is that sound? It's Gumshoe. Hello? Gumshoe? What is with him? And what's with that sigh? Where's Mayor? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal, I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you, I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal. But the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm going to keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me we don't have any more. Guilty, 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 guilty. I think we get the point. Did you hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come this far and... Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that! Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I'm about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch!
Take that!
Nice animation. Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you gotta buy us some more time. Court is in session. Really? I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I am reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for the day.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I am asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. Right. Well, what's going on with Mayor's situation? You would have been told! Tequila. Looks like he got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Ugh. Report! Is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time. Just spit it out. Right. It looks like we just missed him, sir. The killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away. A few things? Can we use any of them as evidence? I thought you'd ask, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now and I'm on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. On my hunk of junk car, I'd say I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. Alright. Just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission, and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light. That's not clever. Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me! No one can stop me! What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What was he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help! But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken, and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get to those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No! We can't let that happen! Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why, oh why did Gumshoe have to get into an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? It's like instantly as it says that, I know what it is, because it's just so stupid though. The whole game's been building up for this. It's been like cases on cases for this moment as well. This is silly. I like it. There is a way. That's right. There is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. It's a profile, isn't it?
Take that!
Why are you bringing up Francisca at a time like... Oh, I see. I'll try to get in contact with her. The chances are slim, but she's all we have. Franziska. Will she even want to help us? Edgeworth. What is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty. But what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, Defense Attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right. It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdict. Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, bailiff. There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. As yet again, we come to a to be continued. But it's great how they lace that throughout the game, that we got the notion in our heads that, of course, Franziska can chase Gumshoe wherever he is. It's also amazing that Gumshoe didn't remove his coat after finding out that fact. It's also a really good thing. As we move back to the court. Court will now reconvene. I assume both sides are ready. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. I can understand the defense acting like this. However, why do you also seem distraught, Mr. Edgeworth? It's nothing, Your Honor. What's wrong with Edgeworth? It looks like something unexpected just happened to him. And now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you could please tell the court the results of the handwriting analysis on Miss Inpar's suicide note. Yes, Your Honor. Unfortunately, we have discovered that this suicide note is a forgery. What? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This note was not written by Miss Impar herself. It is a fake. Order, order, order! Mr. Edgeworth, would you care to explain what is going on? If this was not written by Miss Impar, then who wrote it? We would need more time to do a more detailed analysis. However, it appears that the handwriting matches that of the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida. Mr. Corrida? Well, well. It looks like Miss Impar never left a suicide note after all. She never wrote anything about Engard. However, Your Honor, even though this suicide note is indeed a fake, Mr. Engard could not have known that, and so that facts remain unchanged. Oh no. Acting under the assumption that it was real, he had plotted to possess it. That does sound very plausible. This theory that Engard had no idea that the suicide note was fake. Something seems a little wrong with it. Right. Obviously, we're delaying tactics still, which is the confusing thing. Time to think. Delaying tactics works. It's worked for us thus far. The defense believes the theory the prosecution has stated contradicts testimony. If everything the prosecution has proven up to this point is true, then it's impossible for Mr. Engard to not have known it was a fake. Is it just basically because he was under surveillance all this time? But then he'd have had to have wrote the note lately, which I imagine it must have been in that bear for a while. But maybe the surveillance only happened lately, and so that's why he saw it being put in the note? I don't know.
Take that!
What is this little item called again? I think you'll find it's a camera, and we've now set ourselves in to a path. Will we take penalty? Or will we be successful in, hopefully, being good? I don't know. I really don't know. It's just all delaying. Will Maya be saved? Will we be able to just let this case crumble in the end? I don't know what we're doing. Tune in next time on Justice for All, as we hope that I just keep bumbling on through. Bye-bye.